Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. Hope you guys are all having a great day. So, again, before I start this video, I have to remind you guys, this is on my X Lego Sun X base. So, yes, people are going to be attacking me. By the way, guys, don't attack it if it's not an event. You're not going to get any chests. You can farm rubies off this base, which, I'm cool with. Like, use as much as you want. But it's not going to drop chests outside of an event. So, yeah, don't mind the attack bars. But this video is on the topic of breeding, specifically breeding guides, how to use them, how to get on them, what if you've been breeding and not without a guide, but you want to get back on one, and all this stuff and how to use them. A lot of questions have been asked on my Discord server, which I'll link down below. Highly suggest getting on it. Like 100 plus people. We have a Dreadnought player in there as well. And then myself, and then a lot of active people. So if you want to learn more about the game, check it out. But breeding is something that I feel like should be touched on more because it is a pretty big, a pretty big thing in the game. So, how to use a breeding guide? All right, I'm gonna start with the basics. So, a breeding guide is basically something or a spreadsheet or a list of different paths to get to the end results, which is of course Obsidian tier. There are a lot of tiers in this game, and all these dragons have different spells, different capabilities, and there's certain dragons you want to get, and there's certain dragons you don't necessarily want to get. And breeding guides are the most efficient way. It basically allows you to spend your egg tokens in the most efficient way possible to make sure that you don't waste a lot. When I first started the game, I was in blue tier, breeding every single dragon, no breeding guide, for almost 2 months. And I was like pretty active, but the thing is that you waste so many egg tokens. I could have been almost to Amarok, actually. I did some mathematics. I could have been almost to Amarok in those 3 months than I was, and I was only in blue tier. Breeding guides help so much. If you are not on one, it's so easy. Get on one. Trust me when I say it's going to be the best thing you do in this game, or else you're not going to have dragons to stay up with your level. And the reason why breeding guides are so necessary, okay, is because of this. You can breed every single dragon with different parents. You can see right here all these different different ways to breed one dragon. Now, of course, some of these are, these are all different eggs, but some of them are exactly the same. And we don't really know which was the most efficient unless you have data mined data. Data mined, yeah, that's right. Data mined data, which comes from Amoeba. So basically, the whole point of breeding guides is to make sure that you're spending your tokens efficiently, and that's it. So I want to show you guys some different ones that you can use, and then also how to use them and all that jazz. So I'm going to start out with probably the most popular one, and that would be right here. Well, not popular, but one of the most used, and I'm going to explain kind of what I think about these. So this is Amoebas, all right? I'll put the link to every single one I talk about. I'm going to talk about 4 major ones, okay? Well, I don't know if mine's major yet, but we'll see. I'll see how people like it. But here's Amoebas, all right? You can go to amoebastudio.com/dragon/breedingguide.html, and this is what a breeding guide is. So you'll notice at the top, it'll say step, parent 1, parent 2, child, tokens, and now people don't understand what this is. This is the amount of extra eggs that you're going to get. This is where research comes in. All these extra eggs, so that 73 right there, purple eggs that you get can be used for research in the future to get all your research upgrades going, which I am going to be doing a video on research very, very soon. Probably going to be tomorrow. And then also the tokens. Now, what each thing means is basically the child is what you're breeding for, okay? And to get that child, you have to breed these 2 parents. Now, normally speaking, if you go to the child, if you get far enough into a breeding guide, you're not going to have to change the parents of the dragon. You don't have to manually do this. If you click on it, it says breed now, you hit that button, it's going to take you to these parents almost every single time. But if you see a parent that is not one of these, change it. Don't start breeding because you're going to be breeding dragons that you don't necessarily need. Now, also, you might notice that some of them have these little stars or asterisks. I think that's what they're called. You would think I can English better. That means that the dragon is not necessary for breeding. Keep in mind that those dragons, again, are not necessary. Do not level those before you level these other ones that don't have the asterisk above them. Okay, so priority should be on the dragons that you need to keep on breeding, especially at lower levels. Guys, you're going to overtake, you're gonna pass over the orange tier so fast. So trust me when I say don't waste your time on dragons you don't need. All right, so as you guys see, this is, and also the token cost is not relative. It's not random, but it can differentiate between times you do it, because this is the general amount. You'll notice in some other guides, like, you have numbers that aren't a factor of 20. Like, you'll have 163. You might ask, how can you have like a 3/20ths of one breeding time? Well, that's the average of the data mined information. And these tokens, again, you'll notice as you increase in tiers, that amount increases, and you'll notice that as you start getting up higher in level, you'll start to see different types of paths, and you'll especially see that in reds. But the thing with amoebas is that it's very straightforward, but it doesn't include the backbreeds. In my opinion, Amoebas is good, but he hasn't updated his. Sorry, he updated his, but he doesn't spend a lot of time. Or I don't want it to sound like I'm bashing him. I'm just trying to say I don't think his are necessarily the best options at the moment. So I would say maybe stay away from it. Use this as a general one, but honestly, if I were you, I would stick with one of these other ones that I want to talk about. So the next one is going to be reds. Now this is probably one of the bigger ones you'll see. She's been like, this is her like main thing. If you just search up Red Rulith War Dragons breeding guides, it'll pop up. I'll again put link down below in the description. But she has she has a lot of breeding guides, but she has this new one called Red Best. Okay, which I want to show you guys. Again, sorry that it's like going between different apps. I don't really know how to like change that per se. But here we go. All right. Red's best breeding path. Now sorry about that. So you have a lot of different options here that you can read on your own time. But what I really want to show you guys is her paths right here. Red to Obsidian basic, and then she has a more like abstract guide. So this is an entire list of from red tier all the way down to Obsidian. Now, the total egg tokens you're going to be spending is 4,189,000. All right, which doesn't really matter on it's still freaking a lot of egg tokens, but that's beside the point. So you'll see right here again, Dragon Offspring. That's the child. The parent token spent, minimum level, which is the minimum level that you need to be able to breed that. Of course, it's not like if you're level 17, you're guaranteed to get it, because you still have to upgrade your incubator and all that. But that's just saying if you have it at that level, you can have the possibility of doing it, all right? And again, the running total is just the amount that you're going to be using. You can see like all the different dragons are based on color. She also mentions the detailed Mystic Frag use. Guys, don't use Mystic Fragments really until you start getting into green or above. It's really inefficient. Seriously, it's not worth in my opinion, so I wouldn't suggest not doing it. But yeah, so I'm going to go and take the time now to explain something. So let's say you are breeding your dragons, okay? But you've never been using a breeding guide. So you're sitting there thinking like, man, I'm kind of screwed because I don't know where to start. Basically, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is look at the parents, okay? Don't look at the dragon offspring. Don't do that. Look at the parents. Find the last step, basically, where you have both parents. Once you find that, then you go on from that step forward, okay, until you go to that step, and then you start working way up from there. I don't care what other dragons you have. If you have other dragons higher tier than that, that's fine. But you're not going to be able to use breeding guides if you don't do that. Just go back steps, even if you're going into a tier that you were working on before. Let's say you're in green tier, right? But you don't have the parents from the green tier, part of the breeding guide, but you have some from the orange tier. You have to go back to the orange tier and start building your way up again. It's pretty, it's annoying, but to be honest, it's going to be more efficient in the long run to go back and start working on those other dragons to make sure that you can continue on using those breeding guides. But let's say you don't like that breeding guide. You're in luck because she has 20 million other breeding guides that you can use. and that is complete, full, and everything like that. And this is the breeding guides. In my opinion, the best. Again, she has all this information. If you want to read that, that is perfectly a-okay. But here are all the sapphire to obsidian options. All right, and then here's where the fun starts. Okay, so you have all these Icicle Paths. These are the most efficient in terms of egg tokens. Now, the most efficient one right now, that from what I've seen of hers, is this one right here. This Icicle for Ferga, Stormheim, and Noctua. Now, people are going to say, you get really weak dragons. See, because people consider Champa, Renard, Itaru, and Jewel pretty weak. Apathet is OP, but all the rest really, basically from Jewel down, are pretty weak. Now, a lot of people use this one right here, and that's because you get Frostbiter and Hosset, which I think is a pretty good one. In fact, I kind of wish I got this one first, to be honest, because it's a pretty good path. So if you like Hunters, this is the one to go. But again, you basically just find the one that you want to use. And again, she has a lot of other ones she has ones for Icicle, Gloomclaw, and as well as A&A. But Icicles are most efficient in terms of breeding tokens spent. Okay, so that's hers. And then we have, of course, the most important ones, not really, are mine, actually. I started working on breeding guides, just kind of working them out. So this is one that I created, actually. You'll notice that I think it looks pretty good, actually. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want it to sound like, bragging or anything, but I think this looks really nice, okay? It is color-coded. All these are, if it's blue tier. If it's orange tier, so on and so forth. This color is platinum tier right here, like the Kelvin and Quetz. Kelvin and Quetz, Apathet, all these guys. And it'll show you the amount. Now, this is an expensive tier, but this tier specifically, this breeding path right here, the Warrior/Sorcerer path, is specifically for those people who like warriors. You'll notice that you get the strong warriors and sorcerers before anything else. You'll see you get not whale and consurgents like most breeding paths, but CTH and Kryzan and Kaldabulg and all these other guys, Kelvin, Quetz, Kaiju, Champa, Gorgonos, Manhattan. This is really for warriors, all right? I wouldn't suggest it, but a lot of people, not a lot, well, no, sorry. A lot of people don't like hunters or can't fly them. If that's the case, check out my Necrix video. And also, I'm going to have a hunter guide coming out very, very soon, where I go over general tips. But that's an option, but this is the one that I am probably going to be most proud of once I finish it. It is a work in progress. Huge shout out, though, to Grim. I think he's Josh W. on YouTube. He doesn't have a channel or anything, but he's the one who actually gave me this breeding path right here, and it's really good. It's actually almost as efficient as you can get, because you don't get any extra breeding, you don't get any extra dragons that you do not need. So it's very, very efficient, and you get all the dragons you need, and you just basically power level through breeding. And I would highly suggest using this, actually, until you get here, and then I'm going to be going on from there and using some stuff that I actually found on Amoeba site, because he has some information, and I'm kind of practicing. This one right here, the Warrior/Sorcerer, was kind of a practice one, as well as this extra information. Now, I want to explain what this means. Alright, and I have a little thing right here. If a dragon's name is not bolded, then the dragon does not need to get obsidian using this path. I would highly suggest getting some of the ones who aren't required, though keep in mind that you're going to get most dragons through trying to breed other ones, okay? You may still need to get more dragons on the breeding guide itself. So basically what I'm saying is that if it's not bolded, you don't actually need it to breed. I said those asterisks or whatever, the same thing applies here, except I just made it like this, so I think it looks a little better. So if it's not bolded, then you don't need it. So don't necessarily put a lot of time and effort into it, except, if it's people, Consurgents, right, who's really good, or Jagger, who's also really good. And then also, and I'm sorry, this is a lot of information, I know, but the reason, and I want to make sure that I kind of preface this, okay? I know some people probably clicked off by now, but I'm making these paths not because I'm saying, like, the other ones out there are bad, at all, alright? People are way better at this than I am. Please understand that. I'm just putting my own twist to them, because I know none of them have stuff like worth experting after getting it breedable. I looked, none of them have this. I'm going to be adding a lot of information that they do not have. including gameplay, tutorials, stuff like that on dragons that I have made videos on. Like that will be in it. So I'm just basically adding on to what's out there, including this cheapest path. It's my work plus someone else's. And if you have, by the way, if you have breeding guides that you want to give out to the community, I'm hoping that this spreadsheet will be used. I'll put the link down below in the description. But if you have a good one, send me your email in game. Don't put it in comments because it will get banned, just because of reasons. But if you want to get like on this or whatnot, send me your breeding guides. If you think it's unique, let me know your in-game name as well. I want to make sure that you guys get credit for it, of course. But hey, I will be more than willing to make a page or whatever to for small breeding guides for like specific situations. I'll be cool with that. So if you want to do that, I've been sent a couple actually already. So I'll probably be making that later today. Well, not today. It's like 10 o'clock p.m., but probably tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to keep working on these. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think this is going to be useful to you or not or whatever? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. 2.9 thousand. So close to 3K. Pretty stoked about that. But either way, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.